It's packed with, it's a 3-day packed program with different topics. I learned about organizational dexterity, about exploitation and exploration aspects of an organization, and how to strike a balance. I also learned about the 3 horizons of growth. I didn't know that. And the fact that once in a while you have to clear out, calm down to take serious decisions. And one major key takeaway for me would be the fact that fear is our biggest enemy. And once you can conquer fear, you are able to do anything. And so it has been an exciting and insightful 4 days for me. I got to network with people from back home that I didn't know. But overall, it has been an enjoyable experience, learning especially from Cadbury how they've been able to stay in business all these years. That's a classic example of a company or an organization that is resilient. And that's why I came. How do we become resilient in this age of disruption? So Texem, thank you.
Good afternoon. If you could start with your name and what company you work for.
Okay, my name is Ifanyani. I work for Total EMP Nigeria CPFA Limited. We're closed pension fund administration, so I'm into fund and asset management.
Okay, so the first question will be, what did you like about the program?
I actually like the program, the 4-5 day program. The way first of all, we started with practical examples. We visited the Shakespearean area, and then we also visited Cadbury. So people who have already implemented some of the things we're actually learning, or we learned at this particular course. So we saw it happen, and then when I went back on the second day, that's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, to learn the theories. And one thing I also learned so much was the fact that we had a lot of group studies, coming up in group, discussing issues, and then people coming out to make presentations about the results of what we have learned. And it was done in such a way that we get to meet many of the other 20 or 19 participants, and everyone had a chance, to talk. Everyone had a chance to make, presentations. So we find that the participation was everybody took part, in it. It was easy for each person to participate, and also gave very good opportunity for networking amongst all the participants. So I think it's a very good program.
Okay, I know you spoke a little bit about what you learned. What would you say your favorite thing about the program would be?
My favorite thing about the program would be, drawing our attention again to ever, I would say, to change, which is being a constant in life experiences, change in our lives, change, in businesses, the dynamic, things about business, the evolution of businesses and the way we do things. That's something that we have to constantly pay attention. Another thing I liked about the program as well, apart from management in a very volatile, challenging, uncertain environment, is the fact that, like in the evenings, we had other, discussions, other lectures, for example, on cybersecurity and mental health, which is not just equipping us to know what is happening around us, even equipping us personally, our mental health, paying attention to also the ever-evolving cybersecurity, environment. Those are things I would say that made it very, very interesting.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for your thoughts and how you feel about it. So I'm just going to start off with, what's your name and what company do you work for?
My name is Dr. Musa Mohamed Zagi. I work for NUPRC Nigeria. NUPRC is the petroleum regulator for the upstream sector in Nigeria.
Okay, and first question, what did you like about the program?
I like so many things about the program because it's kind of very, very interactive, very insightful. Even lecturers were carefully selected. They came with full of experiences. So here we are matching theories and experience, practical experiences. And also we interact with all other colleagues that will come from different public and private sectors. And then at the end of the day, we also carry out some exercises to test how our understanding on the program is all about. So I like the program for its wide coverage, resourcefulness, and interactions with colleagues across public and private sectors.
Thank you. And what would you say what you have learned from the program?
Well, I have learned that it's always good to have continuous learning process. Every day you come, you learn something new. I'll go back, I'll impact very positively to my work environment. I come here to learn now leadership is just about how you manage both your leaders and your followers. So, and also how you are concerned about their well-being. So getting back home, I'm going to use this to improve my leadership skills and all the gaps that I've had in the past, the assumptions I have had now, I'm better informed on how to progress going forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome. If you could just start with your name and what company you work for.
My name is Michael Faloshi. I'm the Assistant General Manager, Government, External and Industry Relations of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. That's the regulator for the power utility in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. So I've got two questions for you. The first one being, what did you like about the program?
It's highly intense, very, very impactful, not just for the work, but for the life after work. How do you impact your life? How do you impact your environment? I've read a few things about Texem before coming here, but I think my expectations were surpassed by any standard, by any way. The training institute can compare with any other one all around the world. The packaging, the faculty, everything is just excellent.
Okay, thank you. And what would you say you have learned from the program?
More importantly, the module on resilience. The world is changing and changing very fast. It is those who are able to adapt to their environment that will be able to survive or be able to make it to the next generation or the future. The level of resource persons, the faculty, really someone like James Peter, his life experience is kind of gives you hope, gives you that there's never say die. You must be able to reinvent yourself. That is very, very impactful. That at any point in time, you must be able to reinvent yourself, and that's a key message I have to go away with. My business must continuously reinventing. In my life, in my environment, I must continually to reinvent myself, to prepare myself to the next challenge. You never say, "Oh, I've gotten to the peak and this I have to rest." No, because you never know what's going to be the next challenge. So you must be on the alert at all time. It's a very, very significant message that I'm leaving here with.
Thank you very much for your answers. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. If you could start off with your name and what company you work for.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Mukhtar Hanga, Jais Bank PLC, Nigeria.
Okay, I've got two questions for you. The first question being, what did you like about the program?
A lot. I really enjoy the program. It's quite educating. Though stressful, but I enjoy it from the beginning to the end. And honestly, I would recommend whoever once come for a program like this to come to Texem.
Excellent. And what would you say you learnt about the program?
I learned a lot, about so many things: governance, risk, business, and politics. Politics, I was at the Shakespeare's Village, and I saw a lot. I've never been there before. And business, I was in Cadbury, and I'm highly impressed. And when it comes to the real thing that brought me here, it's fantastic about the cyber security, about what I learned today, and also what I learned yesterday. So it's very important. I have a lot to take home.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon and welcome. If you could start with your name and what company you worked for.
Oh, my name is Mustafa Assam. I am a non-executive director at Injais Bank.
Okay, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first question being, what do you like about the program?
I would like, first of all, to say that when a few weeks ago, when I was nominated to come to this workshop being prepared by Texem, I was a bit skeptical because that was the first time I heard of the name. But then, when the program of the events that were sent to me, and then I found that it's quite a new approach of workshop that I'm used to, because I've attended so many workshops organized by other organizations, but I find that the approach made by Texem is quite different.
Okay, perfect. And what would you say that you've learned about the program?
I think we mean what I have learned. I think coming here, first of all, when I found that the first day of the program will be visits to the Shakespeare's birthplace, and also to visit a chocolate factory, I was skeptical. I said, I'm a lover of Shakespeare, but I just said, what is it to do with business or whatever it is? But then after the visit, and then to the 2 places, and coming back, and then I could see the correlation between what I'm supposed to know, and I really could understand the issues there.
Thank you for your answers and thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and we're going to start with your name and what company you work for.
Okay, my name is Ademoye Shobo. I work for Lasako Assurance PLC.
Okay, and your first question is going to be, what did you like about the program?
Well, I like the way the program was structured. More often, most programs would have had the guided tour on the last day, which more often than not does not allow for full participation. But this one came in the first day and was a eye-opener with the lecture that were organized with it. So it allowed for full participation of the participants, and eventually it allowed for better bonding going into the full program.
And the last question would be, what did you learn from the program?
Okay, in the world of business uncertainty, the theme of the program is very apt, which is sustainability and resilience. And it's important that for a company to continue to be a growing concern, those are the key issues we have to look at. And there were a lot of exposures for the faculties that came to give us an overview, and it was participatory. It was something that we had to provide the solutions ourselves, and not something that was thrust on us. And one of the major advantages is also the diversity of the participants, the industry that we came from. It gave us a lot of opportunity to x-ray and come up with solutions that is going to be homegrown and not theoretical. It's something that you would go back and then you can easily apply to your particular industry.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. If you could start with your name and what company you work for.
My name is Charles Crawford. I'm a former British diplomat, and sometimes I work for myself, but other times I work with a group called the Ambassador Partnership, which is a group of actually ambassadors from different countries, not just the UK. And we have a consultancy and we try to get rich, not altogether successfully.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you first question. What do you like about the programme?
Well, for me personally, I've never been to Nigeria, so obviously a lot of the programme people I've met have been from Nigeria, so it's great meeting people from that background. And of course Nigeria is a huge and complicated country, and so Nigerians come in all different shapes and sizes and cultures and religions and so on, seniority. So it's impressive, if I can say so, the level of seniority they seem to get on the programme. These are people who are doing real things and enjoy their work and have come here to learn. And I think it's always I've done a few programs now, and the atmosphere is always very open and sort of straightforward. People aren't shy about expressing a view, and so I'm not shy about expressing my views, and sometimes we have quite a strong lively exchange of opinions. So I think that side of it is very positive. I think people seem to be open-minded. I think this is the key thing.
Thank you for that. And the last question, what have you learnt on the programme?
Well, I do a lot of programs, and I always think I don't know what the participants learn, but I always learn much more than they do. Because every time you do these courses, people say things that make you think, maybe next time I've got to focus more on that, or that didn't quite work, or something else needs to be covered. I think what have I learned from this one? I think for me personally, the idea of going deeper. Here's a question, like hierarchy. The hierarchy of a corporation or the hierarchy of a government organisation. But then you go deeper, what's hierarchy about? It's about power. Okay, what's power about? Maybe it's about pride. And you keep asking what something's about, and you get to something which is almost abstract in the end, but it's very important in people's lives. So we were talking today a little bit about the respect for old people, for example. In the UK, I don't think it's as high as it is in Nigeria, that's for sure. And so they were saying, what have we lost in the UK? And I said, maybe we've lost a bit of our humanity. And I think there's something in that. I think as a culture, we in the UK maybe we never had it, so I don't know if we've lost it. But my sense is that now, in the way that Nigerians have that, it's not as strong in our culture. And that's sort of how it is, but that does make you think a little bit about how you think about your own relatives and how you think about getting old yourself. I wonder about this because my children are all of a sudden going to start thinking I'm old. Yeah. And so, this gives you something to think about. So I've respected the openness with which people have talked about these questions, really. That's been really good.
Okay, that's perfect. So thank you for your time, appreciate it. And thank you again. Thank you very much.
Texem, insights that inspire, actions that change the world.